This is the Angels POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Angels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I have been shaking my head for the past 15, 20 minutes. Oh my word, was this a frustrating game? Ugh. Hello, Halo Nation. Hello, Halo hopefuls, and welcome back to the latest edition of the Locked On Angels POSTCAST, coming at you live, as always, after every single Angels game, right here live on the Locked On Angels YouTube channel, and after the fact, both on the channel and wherever the heck you get the Locked On Angels audio podcast feed. If you don't know who I am, what's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area, spent 4 years covering UCLA sports with the Daily Bruin, and now in year 2 with the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Our team is the Angels, and it's starting to get silly at this point, folks. A lot of frustrating trends for this team were continued today as the Angels turn a tight game, a game they probably could have won multiple different times, and they turn it into a 7-4 loss here in 11 innings at home against the Nationals. And when I say a bunch of trends continued, well, I'm talking about the inability to finally break that. You guys are making me laugh in here. They're breaking. You guys distract me in the comment section with crazy stuff. Let me focus. They cannot break the glass ceiling that is this stupid 500 record curse. It's what I'm calling it at this point, right? The Angels 40-40. What do they do on Friday? They lose. They fall to 40-41. They get back to 41-41 yesterday. Also, I know I wasn't able to do the show yesterday, and of course, they gave us a great performance when I'm not able to do the show. We're at 41-41 again. We have an opportunity to finally get back over 500 again, and we blow it again. And we didn't just lose this game. We absolutely blew this game, even worse than we blew Friday's game. Even worse than that. So this stupid 500 curse is annoying. This stupid day game curse is annoying. This stupid horrible record on Sundays is annoying. This horrible record on games after I don't do a show where they usually win and then I show up and then they can't win. That trend continues. And also something I'm going to get into right away. And actually, let's not even do a cliffhanger. Let's just get in right to what I'm going to talk about.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
A lot of different ways you can go in this one, and we will absolutely talk about what happened in the top of the ninth that had this game even go into extra innings. But what the heck I'm going to be talking about, and I probably should have done this one.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Is the idiotic decision-making we continue to make with the darn Manfred man at second base in extra innings. You do a great job. You being Connor Brogdon does a great job, manages, Josh Bell gets a double play. We go in the bottom of the 10th. You've got a guy with good speed at second base. You know how the Manfred man rule works, right? For things to line up conveniently where you have a good runner in Zach Neto at second base, and you've got a guy, Luis Rengifo, who is a veteran, who is supposed to be able to manage the bat, right? Have good back control, have good peace of mind. And I know Rengifo having a great game in this one, right? Multiple hits. But I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I'm so tired of the Angels making the game harder than it needs to be. You've got a runner on second. You've got nobody out. You got out of it in the top of the 10th, and you saw the mistake the Nationals made in that they didn't bunt the guy over. And you're telling me you're going to make the same mistake with a guy like Rengifo. This is not some big catcher or something that doesn't know how to drop a bunt. Rengifo is like freaking as tall as me. He's a contact hitter. If he can't manage the bunt, then I don't know who can, right? Put a freaking bunt down. Put a bunt down, especially knowing who you've got up next. After Rengifo, it's the top of the order. It couldn't be any better. And after Rengifo, who would you have coming up with ideally a runner on third and one out? You'd have Nolan Schanuel, who, if there's a guy on this baseball team that you want to believe in terms of getting a sac fly or getting a weak ground ball, it's Nolan Schanuel. So everything is lined up perfectly. You have good speed on second base. You have a good bunt type of player leading off the inning with Nolan Schanuel right there to be runner on third, one out, sac fly opportunity. And if they walk him, if they intentionally walk him, then you've got Taylor Ward, who I know he's inconsistent, but the guy was 3 for 5 today, right? He's swinging a hot bat. So, oh my word, there's a lot of things to talk about in this game, a lot. And I see you. Wilbur, I see you. We're going to get to Newman. Oh my God. We're going to get to Kenley blowing the save. We're going to get to Lamont Wade being trusted in clutch at-bats. We're going to get to all of that, man. But why in the world are we not sack bunting there? Rengifo flies out. They intentionally walk Schanuel. And then, unfortunately, Taylor Ward strikes out in the clutch and Joe Adell grounds out. That's the inning in the bottom of the 10th. That was the moment. Despite all the foolishness that came before this moment, right? Because there was plenty of foolishness in the late innings in this game. Yet you still had a clear, easy opportunity to just drop a freaking bunt down, advance a speedy runner to third, and get Nolan Schanuel up with the runner on third and one out for a clear sac fly, sacrifice, ground ball, opportunity. Come on. Oh my God. It's so dumb. It's just so dumb. It infuriates me. And it wasn't just that, because in case you missed it, the inning before in the bottom of the 9th. And yes, you guys are right for mentioning it wasn't just a strikeout for Taylor Ward. It was a embarrassing strikeout where he didn't swing, right? But I'm not going to drill into him too much. He was 3 for 5, right? Ever since that trade deadline show I did with the Super Halo Bros, he's been swinging a good bat, right? But this trend of not dropping the bunt down, not only does it happen in the bottom of the 10th in a clear situation, but in the bottom of the 9th, Christian Moore, who, give this guy a freaking round. Christian Moore is a superstar in the making, right? This guy is clutch. He's clutch. It won't ever be more clutch than hitting 2 home runs in the 8th and 10th innings to win a ball game, right? But for him to have a game like he did today, we're sure he only had 1 hit, but it was a huge hit, an RBI in a moment where you needed it. And then he draws a leadoff walk in the bottom of the 9th after you blow a save. This guy, he knows when to get it done. And so you've got speed on first base. You've got Lamont Wade, who stinks. I'm sorry. Up. Drop the bunt down, dude. Just put the bunt down. Put the bunt down. Because once again, you put the bunt down, the lineup again is right where you want it. You got a runner on second with 1 out for guess who? Zach Neto, and then Luis Rengifo. Oh my God. So I don't know what's more infuriating, that you trust Lamont Wade in this situation instead of bunting, which I think is dumb, or that the very next inning with the Manfred man, you have an even easier opportunity to bunt, or a more clear opportunity to bunt, right after you just made the mistake of not bunting the inning before. And for you to not do it again, I don't get it. And Dave, I know you are absolutely right. Rengifo has been inconsistent as a bunter. But if you're a guy who's not going to hit home runs, who's going to be subpar at third base, fielding, if you're just a contact guy who's not hitting great this season, yes, he's been heating up, absolutely, you need to be able to bunt. I'm sorry. Because at this point you ask, why are you on the field? Why are you in the lineup if you're a contact guy that can't drop a bunt down? Right? Same thing with Lamont Wade. Why are you on the roster? He's starting to be a little bit competent, but still, you have to be able to do bare minimum things, or else why the heck are you on the roster? Right? I don't get it. So that was infuriating. We still didn't even get to the 3 runs in the top of the 11th from the Nats, the blown save from Kenley Jansen, all the foolishness we saw in this game with Kevin Newman making a foolish play, Schanuel having a rough fielding play to kind of blow this game as well. We'll get to all of that. We're going to take our break now. When we get back from our break, we will talk about what else went wrong in this one, what the heck is going on Sundays, why we love to rest guys in big games, a lot of stuff. I'm frustrated. You guys can tell. this is just it's a disappointing loss. But with all that being said, we're going to take our break, and when we come back, we'll have a lot to talk about. Today's show on this Sunday is brought to you by Gametime. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's a game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Gametime makes it possible, and it makes buying tickets fast and simple because prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch. They've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views on the app, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Gametime is the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB, making it easy to browse the app for an exciting upcoming MLB game. And it has last-minute tickets and my favorite, zone deals for big savings. For example, they've got 10% off exclusive zone deals for the FIFA Club World Cup matchups. Oh, yeah, my boys in blue, Chelsea, into the quarterfinals. Very excited about that. But like I said, seat views right in the app before you buy, so you know exactly where you'll be. They've got it all. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Back here live on a dare I say, infuriated edition of the Locked On Angels postcast here on Sunday. Again, my apologies for not being able to do the show yesterday. Couple things. Unfortunately, it was a crazy day for me. I actually was in a car accident. That's what this is about. So rough there. And then good news on why I didn't actually do the show yesterday. I probably wasn't going to do it after the accident anyways, but I ended up going to the weekend concert at SoFi last night. Huge weekend, guys. So that was pretty special. But yes, of course, the Angels had a great performance yesterday when I didn't do the show, and they're right back to losing when I'm on. Why do we keep losing on Sundays? Why do we keep losing rubber match games? Well, here's why. We love to rest guys for some reason, right? I don't understand why we love to rest guys in big moments. The Super Halo Bros were right in calling it out when we were resting Zach Neto in the Astros series and not in the Red Sox series, right? Why is that going on? Today, resting Mike Trout, resting Zach Neto. I mean, it's fair to call it resting Zach Neto at this point. I think he's healthy, right? Why are you resting these guys when this is a big game for us? Let's be honest. This 500 record thing, you can't tell me that just me and just you guys and just fans are thinking about this 500 record thing. At this point, those are human beings playing baseball, right, for our Angels. They know that they have not been able to get over this 500 hump, right? They know it. They also know that they've been bad on Sundays. They know that they've been bad at the Big A. They know that they've been bad on day games. And you're going to tell me that when they walk in the clubhouse on Sunday and they look at the lineup and they say, Trout's not playing when we've got the day off tomorrow, Neto's not playing when we've got the day off tomorrow, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why am I looking at O'Hoppe and d'Arnaud playing in the same game? I don't want to see that. The whole point of the d'Arnaud signing was so that he can give a break to O'Hoppe if needed. They've arguably used it too much, used d'Arnaud too much. But I don't want to ever see a lineup. No offense. d'Arnaud hasn't even been terrible. But I don't ever want to see a lineup with O'Hoppe and d'Arnaud both in it. Right? I don't ever want to see a lineup where Gustavo Campero and Kevin Newman are also starting in the same game. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're not playing a game tomorrow. We are not playing a game tomorrow. You got to make it make sense to me, man. I don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense. What is the logic? There's no way that all of those guys are so tired that they can't play today when we have the day off tomorrow. And this is an important game for us. It sounds silly. It's one game. But imagine how different the vibes are, because I've got people in here saying, I'm trying to find who it was specifically saying, Gavin, I think it's chocolatey cat soup. What a name that is, by the way. I think it's him saying, I will bet you $100 that we're going to get swept in July. Now, I'm not going to do that because I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm supposed to be making bets with viewers. I would still like to make that. If I could, I would make that bet. I think we're going to win one game. I respect my team enough right now to think the Angels are going to win one game in Atlanta against a Braves team that is extremely talented, but has been extremely hurt, is still, well below 500. We actually have a better record than them. I'm backing us to win one game in that series, right? But why do you think he is saying that? Why do you think he's saying that? Because we are still below 500. And we just had a frustrating loss. Imagine what the vibes would be in this post-game show right now. And I love all the comments, as always. I react to them. See, come on, La Habra Sports, like that, that's not true. Saying the Angels are the worst team in baseball right now, that's not even close to true. The Angels are one game under 500. But imagine, and I get it, you guys are fans. Your job is to overreact and underreact. My job is to try to find the middle where I'm still energized, but also giving you the actual, tail of the land. And the actual tail of the land is, if we won this game, everyone would be in here saying the Angels are over 500 for the first time since the 21st game of the season. The Angels are right there in the wild card. The Angels are making it to the playoffs this year. Finally, they're ending the drought, right? That's what you guys would be saying. And I would be saying, hold your horse. We aren't that good yet. But yes, we're over 500. We are a competitive team this year. Now, you guys are in here saying that we suck. Neither are right. We don't suck, and we're not a playoff team. But it's crazy how much one loss can make the difference. So it's really frustrating that you don't even try. You're telling me that if either Neto or Trout start this game, we lose? I don't think so. We should have won this game multiple times, and that was without them. So imagine if we had them. The reason we should have won this game multiple times is we actually had a pretty darn good hitting performance. Once again, 9 hits, just 7 strikeouts, 5 walks. 2 hits for Rengifo, 3 for 5 from Taylor Ward, 2 for 4 from Joe Adell. Ohapi gives you a hit. Christian Moore gives you a hit, a huge hit, by the way, and a walk. The team played well enough to win. And so I don't want to blame individual players despite there being key individual moments. Kevin Newman doesn't know how to catch a pop fly. Never seen the sun in his life. Maybe you should wear sunglasses. Nolan Schanuel, I love you. But multiple people were right in saying it. You got to know the scenario. Top of the 9th, you're up by a run. It's a save opportunity. Need you in no doubles. And you're against a lefty hitter. So I need you in ultimate no doubles. I need your foot on the first baseline. It was not. And then he misplayed it. That started the rally. Kenley Jansen gets the blown save. Schanuel certainly played a role in that. Right? So the Newman play, infuriating, cost you the game. The Schanuel play cost us the game. Kenley could have been better, theoretically still. Right? And yes, in the 11th, the bullpen absolutely collapses. You give up 3 in the 11th. Brogdon, who you got to give him his credit. He did a good job when he came in the 10th. But in the 11th, he was awful. Gives up 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 2 walks. That's going to kill you. 3 hits. That's going to kill you. And then it did feel like the Angels didn't even try in the bottom of the 11th, but how can you blame them? The time to win was the bottom of the 10th, and he didn't put the bunt down. I'm trying to lose it. Interesting question from Dave. He says, was today or Friday more frustrating? I think today, because Friday, it was just a game where both teams played insane, right? You had a bunch of hits and a bunch of runs. They had a bunch of hits and a bunch of runs. You probably blew that game, but the Nationals also did win it. You blew this game multiple different times. That's why this probably takes the cake. And for you to once again come from behind, you're down 2-1. And this lineup always finds a way to get it done. Joe Adell ties the game. Christian Moore goes ahead. 2 runs 6th. You're up 3-2. This one, it's frustrating. It really, really is. Real quick, we'll talk about the pitching. Kowanowitz, was he great? No. Was he terrible? No. Just 5 hits, 2 walks, just 2 strikeouts. This is kind of the start you expect from Jack Kowanowitz, right? You give up 2 earned runs in 4 innings. You honestly will take that from him right now. Fermin did a really good job, came in a tough moment, was able to do a good job. Brock Burke looked very good in the 6th inning, right? Zephyr John was not good. Detmers, the guy just doesn't give up runs right now. But at the end of the day, this is just a game that it's going to come down to those individual key mistakes. Horrible decision-making when you come out with a lineup and you're resting guys. Horrible decision-making when you're pinch hitting Trout earlier in the game, so you have to pinch hit Lamont Wade instead. Horrible decision-making when you pinch hit Lamont Wade and then don't bunt. When Hefo doesn't bunt. Yes, we've got people asking for Paris to be back. You know I'm pro Kyron Paris over watching Newman, and I know Newman hit a bomb yesterday, but still. I am pro Paris over them. I'm pro Lugo over him. I don't know. And it's funny. Everyone's in here glazing me a little bit. Chocolatey says somehow Gavin's being reasonable. 187 OMG says, how do I keep my composure? Thank you, Trevor. You're right. I'm not really keeping my composure today. I'm pissed. You're right. I'm pissed. I feel like it's sarcasm from you guys. I am crashing out. It's a frustrating one, man. It really is. You got to win this freaking game. You got to be over 500 going into a tough road trip. We're going to learn so much about this team in the month of July. This is arguably the biggest month of the season, arguably the biggest month in the last couple of years for this team. I'm going to come out and say it because depending on what happens, these 6 games on the road, and once again, if you were 42 and 41 and you go into these 6 games, if you go 2 and 4, maybe it's okay. Certainly if you go 3 and 3, it's okay. Now you need to go 3 and 3 at least. And then you've got 7 at home before the All-Star break, 4 against those Rangers, 3 against the Diamondbacks. Huge. These next 13 games, I need you to go 7 and 6. And it's hard to ask for this team, but I need you to go 7 and 6. I need you to be at 500. If you don't, if you fall apart, then guess what? It makes it easy for me as someone who's pretty pro selling at the deadline or keeping it neutral, staying young. If you don't handle business in these next 13, that makes that decision very easy. But if this team was 41 and 40, if they went 7 and 6 or 8 and 5 on this upcoming 13-game trip, boy, oh boy, as someone who doesn't want us to buy, even I would have to say, maybe you go get a bullpen arm and a third baseman, and you like being a competitive team the second half of the year. So a lot to be decided in the first couple weeks of July. And then, of course, after the All-Star break, leading into the deadline, it will be extremely, extremely, extremely interesting. But with all that being said, shout out to everybody in here. A frustrating game, but always love seeing everyone in here. Your opinions are very important to me. But yes, appreciate the kind words again. Like I said, going, trust me, I'm not going to show you my car or anything, which is done, unfortunately, by the way. But the fact that just some scrapes on my arm is all I got after yesterday. Very lucky for that. I will be going home to the Bay Area tonight, actually. So day off tomorrow, but expect the Tuesday through Sunday shows, Tuesday through Monday shows, actually, to all be from my Bay Area room. And then we'll be back in this regular studio next Tuesday. So for now, have a great rest of your Sunday. It's still early enough in the day where you can have a nice Sunday. And I'll see you back here after the day off on Monday. Probably good that we have it. We can take a second to take a chill pill, cool off a little bit. And we better be ready. We have to at least go 3 and 3 on this road trip in Atlanta and Toronto. A tough road trip that is. Flying from Atlanta to Toronto and playing back-to-back. That's tough. So I hope we're ready. We'll see. But have a great rest of your Sunday, everybody. Appreciate you guys so much. And I'll be back here tomorrow. Keep your heads up and going.